screams of the clan sounded over the whooping and bleeding of goblin battle cries. The sound came through the viewing slot high in the iron panel, through which Xallos watched what he could of the scene. His horns made it difficult to position his eyes very close. How he wished he could smash those horns through the iron barrier and join the fight to defend his home. But there was no use even trying that. These panels were made to stop more than just a solitary Minotaur. Goblins by the hundreds had swarmed into Star Maze in Brasshorn Canton of Hebrew Town. No doubt they aimed to take Crag's Hold.
It was only a matter of time before someone tried to take this. Our warriors have been few since the Devil's War.
The goblins' attack had been sudden. They flooded the corridors and halls of the labyrinthine district, wielding toothed spears, barbed arrows, and smoke and fire. They had thrown pots blazing with some foul concoction into every dwelling and adjoining tunnel. By whatever luck, the vessel that smashed in near Xallos' hooves had snuffed out. They slammed down the panel and broke the pulley, sealing him inside the storeroom. A shriek of agony tore above the clangor of battle. A Minotauress engulfed in flames staggered into view. She fell and rolled upon the ground until she rolled no more. The stench of burnt fur intermingled with the fumes from the broken pot. Xallos snorted. It did not rid his nostrils of the awful smell.
My clan folk are dying!
Red rage stained the shadows of the storeroom.
Dying at the hands of grots!
Goblins were miserable, cowardly knaves, weak as younglings, but they bred incessantly and multiplied like rats, making their numbers obscene. Worse still, they had no qualms about using their grunts as fodder.
Hordes without worth, pawns to wear down true warriors such as ours!
Where had these damnable grots come from? They did not bear the ruddy tinge, nor the properly forged arms of those from the Pharaon Canton. They must have come out of the mountains, or up some cavern perforated with their rank warrens. Xallos paced back and forth. He crushed a rack of unfinished halves. He kicked the panel and bellowed.
Eris! Take this iron!
The corpse on the ground outside the cell was roasting to cinders.
What is in these pots? It burns like magma.
Reckless from wrath, he grabbed a half and smeared the substance from the broken pot over the seam where the panel met the wall. The stuff was something between thick soup and slime, and it reeked such that Xallos' eyes stung. Taking his axe in hand, he struck across the iron at such an angle as to shower sparks onto the crud. It hissed, and he struck again. Volatile blue and yellow flared from the goop. It sputtered, injecting little gouts of flame and dripping fiery drool down the wall. He used another stick to feed more of the substance to the blaze. Some of the smoke went out the viewing slot, some stayed in the small chamber. The goblin crud spit and sizzled. The storeroom became an oven. The corner glowed with stones going molten, and the iron weakened. Xallos kicked the panel. Kicked it again and again until it dislodged. He burst out of the furnace, dripping with sweat and smoldering from where the tiny globs of magma had peppered him. Following the sounds of battle, the bestial hulk stalked through the corridors of the labyrinth. Goblin corpses were strewn across the tunnels and chambers, and here and there, dead minotaurs, both young and old. He came to a wide hall, where the little bastards were pillaging a shrine of Eris, the inevitable. His blood boiled. With a roar, Xallos lowered his head and charged. His horns skewered one goblin, and then another. He trampled a third one under his thundering hooves. They shrieked and sent arrows into his hide. The horned warrior leapt aside, his mighty axe whirling in a cycle of steel. He hewed through a cluster of the grots and sent their commander's head tumbling from his shoulders. Squealing and shrilling, the scamps fled into a multitude of shadowed passageways. Their breath came ragged as they sprinted for their wretched lives. All while the quake of hoofsteps reverberated at the back of their skulls.